Sounds crazy, no? But in our little village of Anatevka, you might say that every one of us is a fiddler on the roof, trying to scratch out a pleasant, simple tune, without breaking his neck. It isn't easy. You may ask, well, why do we stay up there if it's so dangerous? Well, we stay because Anatevka is our home. And how do we keep our balance? That I can tell you in a word. Tradition.
Tradition, 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 tradition.
Because of our traditions, we've kept our balance for many, many years. Here in Anatevka, we have our traditions for everything. How to eat, how to sleep, how to wear clothes. For instance, we always keep our heads covered, and we always wear a little prayer shawl. This shows our constant devotion to God. You may ask, well, how did this tradition get started? Well, I'll tell you. I don't know. But it's a tradition. And because of our traditions, everyone knows who he is and what God expects him to do.
Day and night must scramble for a living, feed a wife and children, say his daily prayers, and has the right as master of the house to have the final word at home. The Papa, the Papa. The Papa, the Papa, tradition.
We must know the way to make a proper home, a quiet home, a kosher home. We must raise a family and run the home, so Papa's free to read the holy book. The Mama,
tradition. The Mama. At 3 I started Hebrew school, at 10 I learned a trade. I hear they picked a bride for me, I hope she's pretty. The songs, tradition, the songs, tradition.
teach to mend and tend and fix, preparing me to marry whoever Papa picks.
The daughters, tradition. The daughters, tradition. Day and night, at 3 I saw the teach, at 10 I learned and read. I hear they picked a bride for me, I hope she's pretty. The songs, tradition, the songs, tradition.
Here in the circle of our little village, we've always had our special types. For instance, Yenta the matchmaker.
Avram, I have found the perfect match for your son.
Oh, who is it?
Rukel, the shoemaker's daughter.
Rukel? But she can hardly see. She's almost blind.
Tell the truth, Avram. Is your son so much to look at? The way she sees and the way he looks, it's a perfect match.
And Nahum the beggar.
Alms for the poor. Alms for the
Here, Reb Nahum. There's 1 kopeck.
1 kopeck? Last week you gave me 2 kopecks.
I had a bad week.
You had a bad week? Then why should I suffer?
And most important, our beloved rabbi.
Rabbi, may I ask you a question?
Certainly, my son.
Is there a proper blessing for the Tsar?
A blessing for the Tsar? Of course. May God bless and keep the Tsar far away from us.
Then there are others in our village. They have a much bigger circle. His Honor the Constable, His Honor the Priest, and His Honor many others. We don't bother them, and so far they don't bother us. And among ourselves we get along perfectly well. Of course, there was the time when he sold him a horse and delivered a mule. But that's all settled now. Now we live in perfect peace and harmony.
It was a horse. It was a mule. It was a horse. It was a
Tradition. Without our traditions, our lives would be as shaky as a fiddler on the